What is going on, everybody? This is Joel Mercado with Paint Your Path podcast. I am here with my co-host, Aiden Smith. How you doing today, brother?
I've had better days. We had Joel do the intro because I was just slipping up. Wi-Fi was messing up, man. It's all good. We're back, though. We're back.
Yes, we are, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I am prepping for the events we got coming up later this year. Excited about that. I think you just got announced as a speaker.
Yes.
Freaking awesome.
Yes. I'm excited, man.
No
idea what I'm going to talk about yet, but we'll see what happens.
You'll be fine. If you're out there, it'll be a good one, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, man. And I think, now we're planning kind of like the Airbnb, what it's going to look like, the setup, getting out there early. It's really like it's coming and it's going to be awesome. So
it's going to come forward to
fast. Yeah. It's
days.
like we were just there, right?
It's crazy, dude. Absolutely. It's going to happen quick. Yes, sir.
Dude, and I think we should talk a little bit about, if you guys are interested in going, right, PaintCon. It's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, Andy Elliott's Lions Den. The dates are November.
I want to say it's the 8th
Let me make sure.
and 9th, which is a Saturday. Sunday is the actual event, and then Friday is the workout.
Okay, yeah, 8th and 9th. Well, it says 7th to 9th, right, Friday to Sunday. But Saturday and Sunday are the main days.
Yeah, so Saturday is the main event. Sunday is the main event. Friday is a scheduled workout at probably at the Den.
Sweet.
They usually do that. They like get everybody together, kind of network a little bit, but we're all working out, and then you kind of enjoy the rest of your day. So it's kind of cool.
No, it's going to be an amazing time. The first time, obviously, the first one was a banger, and that workout, it really did like prime everyone, right?
Yeah.
Got the juices flowing. Everybody was there with their shirts, and everybody was just like judge free. It was like we showed up, we started, connecting, and we got it in right away. So that was really cool.
I think, like you said, the priming aspect of it kind of almost gets those like, if anyone has any jitters of like, what to expect, boom, that workout really just gets you guys connected, feeling good, and you get to know each other already. Yeah. So when you're sitting in the room, that awkwardness is already out. So yeah, I think that's a great plan to do that together first. It's awesome.
No, for sure. Like leave the ego at home. You're in the proximity of high level guys, right? It might be a little intimidating, but at the end of the day, we all want to see each other win, right? 100%. So the whole time we're just talking game, strategy, how we can improve our business, kind of getting the spirits high to the point where is the first time you're meeting a lot of these guys. And it's like, these are potential relationships that could change your life,
100%, man. And that was a big deal for me, right? Like I felt the same way, just meeting everybody in person. I was like, wow, these conversations were even more takeaways than just the event itself, which is really cool that you can combine each other. And fast forward, it's like, I got really great friends out of it. So it's like super cool to have that experience as well. So I think you guys got to keep your minds open to that. You never know who's going to be there. And then also who's going to stand by you in the corner as you're going through 2026. So it's something to consider as well.
Yeah. I mean, how many clients had we met there that needed help and that, maybe they were a little hesitant on the sidelines about seeking help because they didn't know, what they were going to get out of it. And then we kind of were able to talk to them in person. They were able to see us, right? And really feel what we're about. You can tell when somebody's being genuine and, has your best interests and, we're there and we're open, right? So it's like, if you have questions, if you're considering something, we can kind of give you the ins and not just with us, but with other people. Yeah. Hey, you were looking for a website guy, the guy that's here, I would connect with him. Boom, boom, boom. One thing leads to another. Now you're making tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah. All in 2 days, it shifts your whole life. I love it, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. And then, this one is going to be much bigger than the last one. I think we had like 120 people last time.
Yeah. Last time was between 100 and 120. And then this time's up to about 450. It's wild. The energy itself, I feel like last year's energy was great. This year, it's just like that anticipation, but there's a mix of that culture already there too, which I think is going to just amplify the event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited, man.
Yeah, and vendors from all across. I mean, if you look up at the lineup, I mean, there's coaches, marketers, people that
Hmm.
just own businesses that want to share a game, right? There's people that are, public speakers, that kind of thing. So you're getting a well-rounded amount of people as well. I mean, I think about the last time where you had Nick Kelly, right? Spencer go up, Ron from, Paint Tigers. These
Yeah.
guys had nothing to sell and were just there because they wanted to increase awareness in the community, help people out, give a strategy. And that's really what helped me with the virtual estimating, because I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but once I heard Ron and how he said he gets so many forms filled out with all the info, he never has to do an actual estimate. All he has to do is send a guy out there to double check, and he's landing a ton of jobs from that. And I was like so intrigued, and I'm like, that is the world that we're soon to be living in, if not already, in a way, right?
100%, bro. I love that you mentioned Ron too, because I just saw a Facebook post yesterday, and he posted like a thank you to his team and everybody that works on his, the websites, the lead gen, everything. What people don't realize with Ron, if I remember correctly, Ron only operates in the summertime.
Mm,
So he does only exteriors only. So he
wow.
doesn't do any interior work. He did 1.8 in sales, and then showed his average job size was over $15,000. Like, when I
Wow.
heard him speak at PaintCon last year, I was like, wow, like this guy is literally in my neighborhood. He's only 2 hours north of me. And to hear that he's running almost $2 million business in just pure exteriors, which for us is like easy money, right? Like it's just like,
Hmm.
yeah, in and out, boom,
The
boom, boom.
best.
It's the best, right? He gets to have quality in terms of like life, because they're,
Hmm.
I'm sure his teams take off for a certain amount of time of the year, and then they go back up to sell and start building the summertime again, right?
Yeah.
But it's like he opened my mind, and this is me, I'm one of the speakers there, one of the coaches, and he's opening my mind. That's what I think people don't understand what PaintCon's about, and PCA, of course, is being in the rooms with these people. And like you said, we're not trying to sell you anything. Like, yes, we have services, but
Hmm.
we're really just trying to open up your mind to something new that maybe you just didn't even think about. And like, gosh, even when you were going over what you were going over, like my team immediately was like, we need Aiden. Like, remember?
Mm. Yeah, 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 for
Like,
sure.
we got to do production rates. We got to do all these things. And it's like, dude, it's super important to see like something different,
Yeah.
right? We're so consumed to what we do day to day that maybe that one tweak or adding that one thing that somebody else is doing that they mastered can change our whole trajectory of our business. I mean, who doesn't want that? And I think that's really important to keep an eye open and your mind open to when you come to this event, is that nothing but literally just knowledge. Like, guys are spewing what they've gone through, what they know, how they're going to change their lives and how they're going to change yours. Why would you not listen to that? That makes
Yeah.
no sense to me. So yeah, sorry if you couldn't tell. I get, dude,
No,
when you
I
talk about
love it,
paint,
man.
I get amped, dude. I'm like, let's go.
Well, it's really, impactful for both of us, right? Like that
Yeah,
was a big game changing event, just like the first PCA was that we went to. It kind of
100%.
opened the door to a lot of, not only perspective, but opportunity, which was
Yes.
awesome. How can somebody prepare? I'll kind of give my take on that, but when you're going, kind of how do you set yourself up for success? What is the mindset that you want to go in with? So for me, I'm a big note taker, right? I want to make sure that whenever I'm going in and I hear something that clicks for me, that I write it down, because
Hmm.
in my head, I'm like, if I just go listen and absorb it, it'll be great, but like I won't remember everything, right? And I'm focusing on a million different things. But if I were written down and then afterwards at night, I'm in the hotel or wherever I'm staying and I start looking over it and I say, okay, here are the things that I know can help me. That's when I get the most out of it, right? Obviously, being present, making connection, being super positive, right? But for me, the notes were the biggest thing. Cool thing was Lucas and his team brought notepads, gave us some, PDF instructions on certain things. So that was cool. But if you have a computer, laptop, or maybe even your phone and you just jot down notes as you go, that's what helped me personally.
100%. I think too, right now with like I mean, they could listen
Mm.
to it, do some AI note takers, and then you can highlight it. One thing that I'm still a believer writing, right? Because like you said, when you write something, something like was impactful for you, you can write what I call keywords. So obviously we're not going to be able to write a whole paragraph of our takeaway, but what are some keywords from that paragraph you took away, which could be something as simple as like job costing, and
Yep.
then here's your measures from job costing. Okay, boom. You write job costing, measures, increase, net profit, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So then when you're done, this is what I like to teach guys is once you're done the day, now you rewrite your notes at the end of the event of what you remember as a recap, and then you write them out further. So when you do that, now you 2 times it.
Yeah.
You wrote it down, it was impactful. Now you're recapping it, it's even more impactful because you're summarized your takeaway. And then you report that to your team. So now you're doing it 3 different times. What do you think that subject's going to be like the third time you talk about it?
Super
So,
dialed.
yeah, man. And I love the fact that you said that. And, not to give away too much, but like you said, they had notebooks. There's a reason why they did that, right? They have like a topic headliner. There's things that are built by design because these guys understand that most events people leave with nothing. They're motivated. They're like, yeah, I'm excited. But then they go, I didn't have any takeaways. Well, the whole Elliott Group situation is built by design because they've done so many of them that PaintCon adopted that so that you can get the most out of it, right? And I'm only saying these certain things because I know we'll go into a whole subject when we talk about this. I've been watching like the Facebook comments and they're like, oh, like the association to Andy Elliott. What people don't realize though is Andy cracked the code and he did something right. Whether you like certain things or you don't like about that, look at the things that actually are going to work and help benefit you. And then also don't think of just Andy Elliott. Think of the speakers, the people that are paint specific,
Yeah.
that are going to bring the knowledge and they've been around for a long time. I think everyone's direction of understanding is the base, the culture that you're going to get from that situation, the event, but most importantly, who's speaking. What does Jason Phillips talk about typically? Okay,
Yeah.
let me write some notes down. What am I expecting to get from Jason? What does Justin speak about? Well, the dude's known as the door-to-door king. What do you think he's going to probably talk about?
Yeah.
Door-to-door sales and how he built his process. So what topics can you prepare for that so that you're ready to note take, knowing that, hey, I suffer at door-to-door. Here's some key questions I want to take away from Justin. Or
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. I'm just speaking on those two because they're the two J's that popped up in my head. But just to kind of give some game to the guys that are listening right now, be prepared on that. So when you come into that event, you already know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're intentionally looking for those subjects so you can write them down for each speaker. I don't know. I'm like a researcher, right? I already know everyone that's speaking. I looked them up already. I'm paying attention to like, what are their assets? What do they do? Like that guy from Resi Brands,
Sure.
Steve Montgomery. He owns that one painter. It's a franchise.
It's huge.
But he owns multiple contracting businesses.
Mm.
So like, I'm like, okay, well, I want to learn what that guy knows, not just in the painting, but like, how did he get into these other businesses and what does that look like? So now I'm intentionally going, okay, what can I learn from that guy? So on and so forth. So I hope that's helpful for anyone that's kind of preparing for the PaintCon.
Yeah, and guys, like obviously, Andy and his crew, they make clickbait videos. I mean, it's
Right.
social media, guys. When you're
Yeah.
at the actual event, my takeaways were he loves God, he loves his family, he wants his team to be successful, he wants everybody to be lasered in at sales because he genuinely believes that if they do join whatever he is providing or selling, that they will benefit with their life. And also the people he vouches for, he makes sure that they get as much value as possible because obviously that's the connection. It's like, hey, I'm trying to help him out. I want to use my influence and the people that trust what we've done already and bring them over and see what Lucas or Joel or Aiden has to offer. And then everybody wins from that, right? It's like a connection. It's like me and you. We're going to make sure we plug you with the people that we trust. So that's kind of the idea behind it. So don't get too caught up in the clickbait stuff that's out there, right? Go to the event, see for yourself, and I promise you the takeaway will be unbelievable.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, like one last thing that just nail the head, or what do you say? Nail the head on the
Head on the coffin or something.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, it's like no matter what or what intentions you do to come to PaintCon, I'm really careful about my guarantees. But I guarantee you, you're going to change something in your life, whether that's making a conscious decision to be a better spouse, a conscious decision to be a better leader, conscious decision to just lead yourself better, whatever that is, you're going to be impacted to make a change that day. What that is for you guys, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, that's going to happen. Like, I just know it.
I actually seen a video the other day. It was from a while back, but it was him talking about a sales rep who was selling cars, and basically he sold 2 in a month, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, are you there every day? And he's like, yeah, oh, sure. 9 hours a day. And he's like, okay. He's like, you've been here long enough at the job, 2 cars a month. It's not going to feed your family, right? Mm-hmm. And then he basically looked around. He's like, I wish you guys would feel the anger and the frustration it is to let somebody that depends on you down, right? So when you think of it like that, you're taking it to another level. It's not just about you. It's about your family, your guys, your painters. What can you do to level up so everybody wins? So everybody can look at you and say, you're the leader that I put my eggs in this basket for. You're the guy that I'm following to make sure my future is secured. So if you're not walking around with that intentionality, it's going to be really tough to grow a successful business. Simple as that.
100%. I love that you said that. Absolutely.
So we'll switch gears a little bit. Hope to see you there, paintcon.ca. Go join. I'm sure we have some discounts we can offer, something like that with some codes if you reach out to us. So we'll hook you up. Yep. I had an experience in my company that I've never really had before, which is good.
Okay.
So I'm excited to share with you guys because it was like a powerful moment for me. Obviously, I've been big on delegation, bringing on people in both of the businesses to really figure out how I can lead and grow this thing and, put people into place the right way and build it the right way. And this weekend we had leads coming in, right? Because we're spending more than we've ever had out here in Florida. And it's like, all right, the leads is what we asked for, right? And I didn't have anybody working on weekends. It was like Monday through Friday, we're done. So I'm like, okay, cool. I need to figure out who's going to be answering these leads because speed to lead, right, on the weekends. So Saturday comes around. I'm like, all right, let's make some calls. So I'm in my office, boom, 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 Aiden Smith, the co-painting, whatever the case may be. And I start setting some appointments. And I have the schedule for my sales rep, so I kind of know where she needs to be and how to do it. And, next day comes around and she messages me and she says, hey, Aiden, did you set these appointments or did Annie? And I'm like, me? And she was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of stressed right now. I'm like, what did I do? And she's like, well, this one's over in this side of town. This one's over in this side of town, but they're 45 minutes apart. I'm not even going to be able to get there. So I'm like, oh my God. I booked damn near 4 appointments and I'm setting my team up for failure because I didn't do the proper tasks that were involved in that role. And I get with the team and they're like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. And I'm like, I need to know my role. So I said, Annie, you be the admin. I'm going to pay you more. Work Saturdays if you don't mind. She said, yeah, no problem. And I had like a, humbling moment like, Aiden, stay in your lane. We'll take care of ours. And it was like a humbling yet proud moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. I like what you said, the proud moment, because you're like, wow, my team's got this and they really have it figured out. So, dude, I do the same thing. Sometimes I'll do something, the team's like, that's not our process. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I was just trying to help you guys. They're like, no, we got this.
Yeah, man. And I was kind of like, damn, that's such a good sign because that shows that they ran with what we set up, right?
Yes.
They dug a little bit deeper. They made it a little bit more convenient for themselves, took it, ran with it. And I tried to step in and got like a hard, dunked on, whatever you want to say. And it's kind of like with the painting too. If I showed up and tried to paint, they'd be like, Aiden, get the fuck out of here. Like you don't even, you're holding us up. So I made a podcast the other day, a little solo episode. And I talked about how you need to understand that a lot of these roles need to be delegated. And a lot of times you're just getting in the way. If you have it all set up, you give the, keys to them and then you try and go back in. You got to let them run with it and be that leader from the outside in and problem solve ahead of time. So luckily I have the mindset to where I'm accepting that that's the case. I'm now paying them more, changing and saying, okay, here's what we do from now on. So
love that, dude.
We all got to assess ourselves. Yeah.
Most people think we have it down perfect. It's like, nah, man, trust me. Like, that's what we have our team for. They're awesome. So
just because you can doesn't mean you should,
Yeah.
That's funny. And then I
Oh,
had another experience also, and this was today actually, and it's not really like nothing crazy, but I think it's just a good thing to think about in perspective. I had a technician come out and he's trying to tweak at the Wi-Fi. Obviously, that didn't work given the way we started.
yeah,
But he was like, I had a problem, and it was like, hey, my PC or whatever, my computer is not getting, the connection it needs. Everything else seems fine, but it's just my PC. And I diagnosed my entire computer, and it wasn't the computer, so I'm like, all right, it's the internet. Go to him, and he comes in, and before he even knows what's wrong, he just starts going. And I'm kind of like, all right, what's this guy doing? And
yeah,
then he's like, oh, I'm not seeing nothing, blah, 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 blah. He starts rattling about the different like IP addresses and the different gate code, whatever. I don't even know the terminology. But
yeah.
before he even knew what was wrong, he started just diagnosing and putting his own spin on it and rambling. And I'm sitting there wanting to respond. I have my hands like this because I'm kind of like, at this point, this guy's he's just
Yeah.
going. And it made me think like, there's a lot of painting contractors out there doing the same exact thing,
Mm-hmm.
not properly diagnosing the root cause of their clients' pain points and what's going on. And they go right into, oh, you want interior painting done? All right, let me get you this estimate, provide you with a number. Here's our processes. And if it all works, we'll get you on the schedule. And it's like, you don't even know why you're there, what they want, or how they feel about, moving forward with the painting contractor.
Facts. It's the level of, how do I word it? That effective listening that we talk about, right? But what happens is they're coming in with their objective versus finding out the issue, like you said. And it's worse when you got guys like us because we know exactly what's going on. So, but yeah, I mean, for other painting companies, I just talked about this in one of my groups the other day. While I was on a call, someone kept ringing my doorbell,
Mm.
and I was recording a group call. And this, not exact story, but how the guy lost the sale, and I used it live time. I'm like, sorry guys, this is the first time it's ever happened where I stopped a live call, paused it, told everybody hang tight, went downstairs. My wife's talking to this guy, and he's
Mm.
trying to sell us solar. And I told him I'm like the easiest person to sell something
Right.
for. Like, I respect sales so much that I'm so easy. It's almost the easiest sell you can get. And I just told the guy, I'm like, hey man, like I work from home, remote. I'm in the middle of a meeting right now. My dog's barking. You keep talking to my wife. She's in the middle of her job right now. Can you just leave a card? Like, I legitimately will call you and schedule an appointment. And the guy goes, well, did you know about your net spend and your bill and this and that? I was like, listen, dude, I'm closing the door now. You're disrespectful. I literally set the
Wow.
expectations to you. You're not listening. And I'm telling you, I'm in the middle of a conference call and you're not listening to me. Do not show back up to my home. And that's what I said. And I didn't want to be rude, but this is hopefully the same thing what you're hearing from like what you said with your internet experience is understand something, guys. When someone's literally telling you something and they're trying to help you, right? And
Yeah.
guide you, listen, right? And that was such an like, first of all, I felt so disrespected because I'm like, listen, dude, like I'm literally telling you I'm on a call, right?
Right.
Well, how frustrating is it for you as a coach and an owner, right, Aiden? I'll flip it back to you. What if you have another coaching call, or like, for instance, we're hopping on a podcast episode, right? And this guy's not even diagnosing the issue, and now you miss a really important meeting.
For what?
All because homies just, boop, 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 boop. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
this gateway and this extender and blah 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 blah, and you're just like, dude, I can just tell you what's wrong real quick.
Yep.
So yeah, man,
That's
I
so
hear you.
funny. Dude,
Yeah,
that's a trend right now of door-to-door salesmen kind of like just not knowing when to stop or what it looks like. And I get it, you're trying to make a sale and
sure.
maybe percentage wise when you leave that goes down. But you also got to read the room sometimes.
Yeah, man.
I think that's
Like,
super important. Like you got to think too. Like we talked about Brad Allison. I think was he at PaintCon as well? I think
yeah, he
yeah, yeah.
spoke last year. Yep, yep.
And everybody was like, "Hey, on the spot," and he was like, "We don't close anything on the spot. We're damn near at 40% doing $5 million."
Yeah,
And he's like,
I
"We
was
don't do
shocked, dude.
any on the spot, right?"
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not the only way you can sell is being on the spot, but I think yeah, it's reading the room and also just, having faith that your processes and your credibility and your brand are superior if you invest in that the proper way, that'll get you as well to the finish line.
100%. Couldn't agree more with you, man.
So, and I think we're on the same vibe about this is like, look, you do try and get it on the spot, right? By all means necessary, go after it, right? If you have all your ducks in a row, everything's aligned and you can push a little bit, right? And make sure that you genuinely put your best foot forward. But at the end of the day, if you get 4 no's, it's like, all right, at some point you're going to lose the relationship and maybe even a bad review, right?
100%.
So be very careful, you know.
Yeah.
There's ways of going about this. Actually, we just implemented one thing that we got from you, and that was a pre-project checklist.
Ooh,
so that's
very
good.
Nice. How's that working for you?
It was good. It was because we ran into a little issue out here with trenching and expectations.
Really?
So when we first got out here, because remember, I didn't know the market at all. I didn't know the process for painting. I had to discover and ask around and figure this out. Yeah. So trenching we never done up in the Northeast, right? It was like we didn't even have much dirt around. Honestly.
I was gonna say it's like concrete and brick,
all concrete, right? Yeah. So trenching was such a new, thing for me. And when I heard about it, and I said, okay, let's do it. And then we ran into HOA problems, and they were like, you can't do that. You're ruining our neighborhood's grass. So then we kind of pulled back, right? And then we stopped and we just got as low as we possibly could. And then just recently, because a lot of people are saying, hey, we're going to trench. They just expected that from us after getting a bunch of quotes. So they paid, we were the highest out of the bids, got the job. And I got this long text, hey, I'm so disappointed. I paid so much. And I thought you guys were going to go above and beyond. You're not even trenching. And I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go. Yeah. So had to put that on the checklist. And it's one of those things that it's an option now. Good. But here's what, we'll do it, but we're not putting like, seeds down or regrowing your grass or anything like that. It's like one of those things like we do it and it's kind of on you to fix, right? We'll put the dirt back and whatnot, but at the end of the day, just one of those weird gray areas that we have to be on the same page with now.
So interesting, right? When someone comes up, you're like, oh, like, but that, dude, I'm glad to hear that you got the checklist. It's hopefully that'll start serving you some more in the future.
Yeah, and I gave it another like element to what we do with the drip sequences, and you guys can take this, anybody that's listening, but we added it now to a drip sequence that basically says, hey, once you accept the job, here's your pre-project checklist, fill out the form. Once that's done, we're all prepared. Then you get a reminder 5 days later, hey, if you did it already, disregard, but just so we're on the same page. It helps everybody though, right? It's like if you miss someone to sell, you didn't set the expectation, or if, our crew shows up and they see something, this prevents a lot of that now on the back end.
100%. I love that, man.
Yeah, man. The drip sequence. Yeah, dude, we're huge with drips, man. I don't know what I would do without it. I like use it as a tool. It's not like we barely even use it for follow-ups. It's more of like a tool to help us,
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
I can keep rattling. I got more.
You got more for drip, you're saying? Or
No. Just like things we're doing, man. We launched that giveaway. I know I was talking about that in one podcast.
Yes. Dude, I got so much response on that when someone heard it. Like people were sending me messages like, dude, I started doing that.
That's good, man.
So yeah, thanks for sharing that, brother.
It's going to work, man. It's a really good, easy thing too, right? I mean, not only the followers and the traction you'll get that way, but the leads, they're already coming in. We got a setup really nice, shout out to FMM for helping us set it up and launched it and whatnot. And they're kind of overseeing it as well. So that's pretty cool. So we're excited about that. And I think last thing for me is just we're spending a ton on marketing.
Yeah.
More than I ever have, but the numbers suggest it, and we're trying some new things, but that's okay. It's what we need to do. We're growing.
Just keep analyzing, watching, right? And I always say stick with the budget, just reallocate the budget, so that way, like, hey, I gave it 90 days. I didn't shut it off. I just brought it down and I moved it where it's working more. And I think that's a game that a lot of people don't really pay attention to that I'm big about. I don't like shutting off anything. I like to just reallocate. So
I got to be patient. Obviously nobody likes spending the money, but it's going to show the returns, right?
100%.
You got to put that good energy. I get that from Alex is like, if you do things with great energy and put, the most that you can on your side to support it, only good things are going to come. And if it's not meant to be, we'll go and do something else in 90 days. I love that time frame as well. It's like
Yeah.
test it out, even though. And one of the ones I've reactivated, I actually had a bad experience with back in Philly, but I didn't have all I have now, right? As far as the knowledge, the brand, the reviews, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. It makes a difference, man. And it's interesting how, like you just said, you didn't have the brand, the knowledge, all that things in that time frame. It's like, that's why when people ask me certain things about marketing, I'm like, just watch. Like, I've already gone through it. This is what I had to do, and this is the cycle of it. So, but
yeah.
yeah, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, and then one of the topics that you had brought up, before we launched was exiting and prepping
Mm.
your business to sell. I love that because that's ultimately what I'm trying to do out here. But I want to get a little bit of your take and your perspective.
Yeah. So a lot of people know, in my community at least, they know that I'm exiting San Diego. So super excited about that and really looking forward to that. And it's not my first exit either. I've done exits before in different companies. Now, the biggest thing is that what people don't realize when I coach, people ask me, oh, what's your 401k look like? What's all these things look like? I'm like, my 401k is my businesses. And what they don't understand is that I get more return reinvesting in my businesses, and that's how I have it set up. So I'm really big about, we're living in a day and age right now that when you look at the statistics, there's not many 7-figure painting companies. But here's the craziest part now. Out of all the 7-figure painting companies that I hear about, you and I are coaching them. So is Justin and everybody else. So that's proven to something, and it's telling me a story. So when you have the blueprint, you have the processes, and you start putting everything in place, and you start thinking with the end in mind. I always coach, hey, begin with the end in mind. Even if you're not trying to sell for the next 20 years, that's okay. Have that mindset right now, because you want to have all those processes and you want a history of, hey, this is how profitable I am and this is what it looks like, because you just never know. My life changed dramatically in 2 years. I never thought of doing this at the rate that I'm at now. I knew I would do it eventually. I didn't think it would be right now, but I've already been setting that up 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to share with our listeners right now is start thinking that now, because you don't know what's going to change in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You just don't know. So what's the game plan? Think, what's your 10-year plan, right? What's your 5-year plan? Start thinking about exiting right now, even though you're not. Because every decision you're making right now, the leaders, the people, I just did a coaching call literally yesterday. No, I don't coach on Sundays typically, but this was like an emergency call for someone in my network. And they literally were like, dude, what should I do? And I was like, man, every decision you've been making is the now. And you haven't been thinking about, what does this business look like in 5 years? So when you keep making decisions now, you're stressing yourself out because you're just doing a temporary fix. When I start thinking, is this the right person for the next 5 years? The answer is no. Then I'm not hiring them, period. I don't care what they serve me today. So I think that's an important subject to think about. And when you start talking about exiting your business, those are the people that are going to help you to exit, because they're either going to become your next successor. They're going to be the ones that might want to buy you out, right? Your percentage of ownership if you're not 100% owner, right? So there's a lot of different things to think about in that aspect. So I'll flip that back on you. I talked about the people. I think your strongest suit is the systems. Where do
Yeah.
you think that would come in? And how would you suggest our listeners and viewers to start doing what? What would be like the first steps to really get in and start honing in on that? What would that look like, brother?
Yeah, I think that well, we had somebody, his name's Chet Batson, and he's a business broker out here in Florida, on our coaching call, and he really opened my eyes. And I kind of understood the process a little bit of selling, but when he broke it down, it basically was like a real estate sale, right?
Yeah.
It was like, look, I have this much ownership, this much equity. This is kind of what I think I can get in this area. What do you think, as the real estate agent or the business broker? And he said, well, I think you get this price, and obviously you'll get a commission for facilitating and marketing it. And it made it so simple, right? And he said, but here's the things you can do to set yourself up for the highest return, right? So, namely, the brand, right? make the brand number one, not you as the individual. Because once you become, the guy and it's all ran through you and there's no processes or anything like that, the amount you can get for it is so low, because once you get out of there, it's like the Dave Portnoy deal with, Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
He sold. He was the guy that was in charge of everything and ran through, and they realized how bad they needed him. So they resold it back to him for $1, right? Because they were like,
Yeah.
we're nothing without Dave. Right. And
Yep.
people don't realize that they are so intertwined with everything that's happening in the business that it's actually hurting the worth of their business and the value. Because if I were to buy something and be like, well, you're not coming with it, what are you worth? Right? You are the
Mm-hmm.
business. But when you have things written down, process put into place that don't require you to be there for the sale or to paint or to production manage, right? And there's leaders doing that. People already set up with their written down systems. Here's what you do every day, every week, and we're monitoring all your numbers. Now you pull that leader out and you replace it with another leader or management team. It still runs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get the most out of the value of your business.
I love that. You're absolutely right. And that's where a lot of people are going to start putting their heads in, because you're already in it. You might as well think of that day right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think we've said this before. The home service business is like one of the only trades where the owner is involved in the day to day. Right? It's like they
100%.
feel like they need to be there in order for things to work, and it's just because they lack the right systems. And if they had somebody like a you or a me to really go in and say, okay, here are the things you're doing day to day, right? Like one of the first meetings I have with people, what does your day and week look like? Just let them talk. And they start going, well, I go to the paint store in the morning, meet the guys. Then I go to first job and I check in with the customer. Then I go to a sale. Then I come back to the job. And it's like, that's a lot of running around that you don't have to be doing.
Yeah.
Simple SOPs can be set up for that. Save you hours and hours a week that you can now worry about meeting with me and you to further delegate this stuff or set up better systems with vendors or get the most out of your vendors because you're not meeting with them because you're so intertwined with the business. So it's like once you start having that, I don't have to wear all the hats and it will still run, then your business will be in a healthy spot and you can think about selling and maybe even looking at selling.
100%. I love that, man. 100%.
It's crazy. It's like he broke it down so simple to the fact that it was like, I can assess your business roughly right now and figure out what your, times return is, right? Is it 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x? 1x is just going to be, it's just you running everything, right? You're just a name with some reviews and you guys have a local name. 2 to 3x is, okay, you got some system set up, you got some leaders, you may be still doing sales, but for the most part, we can work with this. Yep. 5, 6, now we're talking, all right, this is like a fully organic thing. You have all the P&Ls going. That's where you got to be in order to get the most out of it. So I was super intrigued when he was breaking it down for us. And, you could just get a broker in there to facilitate everything. They have a big market of people looking to gobble it up. I mean, about the private equity nowadays that are like, I actually coached one. We 20x'd his business after he bought one. That was freaking awesome. So
wow,
I've seen it done,
awesome.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Awesome. Well, if any of you guys are trying to sell your painting company, let Aiden and I know so we can.
We'll set you up for the biggest return. Exactly. Exactly. No, it's true though. It's so real, and people think they're not worth anything. Like I talked to him, and I told him what I was doing with the Philly business, and he was like, "You just shut it down." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was more of like a mental thing,
Yeah,
I had like emotional connections and all that kind of stuff." And he was like, "You missed out." Simple as that.
I've done the same. I almost think that the energy increases the income on that decision anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a different thought process with that because I've done the same. I've just been like, nope, the energy's not worth it. I'm out. So
yeah, I think that's just the entrepreneur in us, right? The risk taking in us, where we're kind of like so quick to cut things off because we realize like if we can be clear headed and put our time and energy into other endeavors, we're going to get a way better return faster.
100%.
Because if you're 100%. Too spread thin, it's not going to work. Nope. You try and open up another location before you hit $1 million, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've had those conversations too. So yeah, 100%.
Last thing we want to talk about, we're going to wrap up here soon, is really like the content creation side of things. I think I've been realizing that people in the trades don't want to create content or don't feel comfortable. They don't feel like they have that, pizzazz or that look or, can word things properly. And I push back on that so hard on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like the entry into the business. It's like having a website. You got to make content,
100%. Yeah. The biggest thing I think is there's a psychology of someone feeling familiar to you too, right? So when they see your face and you do the estimate, or they see your project manager in the video, then they see them take over the project. Like, so many different things happen when you do content. And at the end of the day, it's still marketing, right? So put a little bit of a budget, market yourself. If you're not doing it on your own, get like an intern or something like that can help you out with some of the videos and the editing. I mean, dude, there's a lot of people starting to do that. Like Joe, Carfagno Professional Painting.
Yeah.
Look at his social media in the last 2 weeks. He hired an internal marketer. Boom. They're just going crazy every single day posting now.
Wow.
That's how important it is, and it's like, Joe, the man. Like
Joe's the guy, bro. He's the guy.
Dude.
No leashes.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I need to look like $1 billion company. So let's do it. I was like, all right, let's go. Mm-hmm. So, it's important for the content game. And I think also it brings your level of confidence in your sales, your level of confidence in everything else in your business as well. So, I mean, there's so many things that happen positively.
Yeah. I mean, think of the world of contractors, right? There's a stigma, unfortunately, So if you can separate yourself and have that trust and credibility factor already, I mean, that's going to be huge. I mean, the biggest one, the first one that comes to mind for me is Tanner Mullen. It's like he puts his face on everything, and his trust score is through the roof, So that's one example. But I mean, just at the end of the day, it's a human to human connection. And also, we know sales is emotional. So if you're showing up and helping them with something that they don't necessarily need to buy, like we always talk about, this isn't something where if you don't get it done the next week, your house is going to fall down or you're not going to have heat or anything like that. This is a beautification process, an improvement process. So 100%. having as much leg up as possible to persuade them to go with you and make it happen, you want to do whatever you can. So as far as things to set yourself up, I'm a big fan of like the whole, I think it's called DJI, right? DJI or DJI. They've been huge for me. Microphones, the different gimbals, the different cameras. I mean, you don't even have to buy like a crazy Sony. You can use your phone and be fine.
Yeah, 100%. Easy thing to do is, I think it's like if you record in 180 or 4K, like the 60 frames per second, and just put that on your phone, your iPhone or Android, and have like a tripod so it's not like shaking from your hand.
True. Yeah.
The tripod will actually stabilize it. Listen to us, like we
ready for this?
Photographers, dude.
The gimbal, bro.
Love it.
Hit one of these. Yo, what's up? What's going on, guys? Right?
Yeah, man. I still haven't got a gimbal, so, but I love it, man. If you're cheap like me, get a tripod. If you're like an OG like Aiden like that, then get him the freaking gimbal, dude.
Nah, it's so funny. I actually regret buying a little bit because once I bought it, there was something that was even better, and I was like, damn it, I should have just spent a little more. But I got you. For me, I have like a rule. If I visit a job site, I'm getting at least 3 pieces of content.
You have to.
Pulling out the phone. Hey, we're in this area. We just completed this house. I mean, you see the videos I post on Instagram. Nothing flashy. I throw some subtitles on there. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. Do Insta stories too. A lot of people like kind of watching your journey. So like the Insta stories, I feel like is an underplayed game.
I agree.
So do the Insta stories, get people to get to know you, your team, maybe introduce your team, have them laughing, smiling. That's all good engagement. So to help out with the socials.
I'm about to plug and help somebody out right now. Go on Fiverr and look up social media manager or, anything social media or content related, and just have them redo your profile. They'll go in, they'll throw graphics up, they'll redo all your story, banners, your cover photo for your Facebook. They'll redo your logo in a lot of cases, and they'll make you look 40 times more professional, and it will get you more jobs, guys, because these customers are doing research. They are taking more time to make decisions, and this is going to be a big game changer, and it'll probably be $100, like something super cheap. Like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, man.
So worth it.
That's the world we're living in, and if you guys don't catch up, you'll be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple.
Amen. You got a quote for us to end it, bro?
I would just say progress over perfection, right? I think a lot of people try to be too perfect and then do nothing. I'd rather do it, stumble, but at least I took action. So, progress over perfection.
Amen,
That's what I'll
bro.
leave it with.
I love that. Well, appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir.